Daniel here for Tabletop for One. Please join me at the table as I teach and play through Floriferous. Now, before I start my playthrough of Floriferous, I want to talk to you about something. The reason why I'm doing this playthrough. Now, recently on Facebook, a friend of mine reached out to me to talk about one of our community, one of our solo gamers. It's a gamer who's been gaming for a little while now that has been using solo gaming to help cope with her pain. See, she has an undiagnosed condition that causes her pain and nausea, and she's had it for 6 years. And this story absolutely devastated me. Now, I reached out to Pencil First Games on her behalf, and they sent her a little care package. But I just wanted to do a little bit more to send a smile her way. Now, the person I'm talking about is a little girl named Felicity. She's 11 years old, maybe 12 or close to 12 now, but she has been dealing with this undiagnosed condition for 6 years. Now, their family has dealt with a lot of hospital bills, and I'm not asking you to put any money out there, but I will have a link to their funding if you want to help them with their bills. But I just wanted to make this tutorial solo playthrough as, you know, a dedication to her, and she doesn't actually own this game. So what I'm going to do is after I finish this playthrough, I'm going to send my copy to her. This copy will go to her, and I'm going to send a little note to her. And I've written her a poem, and I'm going to go ahead and read it now, and I'll try to read it without crying. So, Felicity. Days may seem dark, no end to night. Dawn is the hope, love is the light. No one should bear such pain and tears as did this child for 6 long years. It's tough to cope the pain you feel, yet love is hope. Yes, love is real. Look to the dawn, night's promised end. Know you are loved by family, friends. Wish you the best, Felicity, comfort, peace for eternity. So this poem will be in your copy here, this copy that I send you. I'm sorry, Felicity, that you have to go through this pain. No child should have to deal with this. This is not fair to you. I hope you find comfort and peace in your family and friends. And I wish you the best. Thank you to anybody who helps her. Even if you just write a note in the comments, I'm sure her father will let her see those comments. And maybe they'll put on a smile on their face. So thank you. And once again, I thank you for joining me for this tutorial and solo playthrough of Floriferous, a relaxing game by Stephen, Eduardo Baraf, and Clementine Campardou. Sorry if I butchered that a little bit there. Once again, this is a tutorial solo playthrough dedicated to Felicity. If you want to check out Felicity's funding page, I have a link in my description. She will be gaining this copy of Floriferous from me. I really hope she enjoys it. Now, Floriferous is published by Pencil First Games, and I do have a friendly relationship with the publisher, but this is my own copy that I purchased for myself, and it happens to be my favorite of the Pencil First games that I've played. And so let's go into setup here. Now, the first part of setup is you'll randomly choose 3 of the bounty cards. I've shuffled these up, and we'll deal these out here. Now, these are patterns that you're going to be going for that'll help you gain points, and so it shows the symbols at the top that you're going to need to gain those patterns. And we'll set those up here at the very top. And then you'll need to shuffle up your garden cards, but you're going to remove the 5 sculpture cards. They show this little like hammer and chisel here in the corner. So these 5 here, they will not be used for solo play. So you set these back in the box, and you'll take the rest of these here, you're going to shuffle them up, and then you're going to deal them out like so. In the 2-player game, you'll set it up with 2 rows here. So the first card will be face up, next card face down, face up, face down, and then face up. And then the last row here is all face up, like so. Now, you are able to do an extended game where you actually have 7 rows, and you'll just complete that pattern. So the next row would be face down, face up here, and then both face up on the 7th column. But in this case here, we are doing the normal play. And so the rest of these cards, they're going to be set aside over here. And then you'll shuffle the desire cards, and you're going to draw 5 random ones, and you'll set them below here. Then you take the rest of that deck, and you'll set it aside right here. Next, you'll take the crow card here. You'll set the crow right here, and then you're going to shuffle the crow deck and just place it right above the crow right here. And then you'll take all the little stone tokens here. We'll set them off to the side right here, but we need to add some to the display here. One goes in this spot here, this one here, and this one here. So the first, third, and fifth card in the second row, or the middle row is what it's called here, because there's 3 actual rows here when you include the desire cards here. Then you'll choose a color for yourself. You have the pawn, which you'll set aside right here. And then you have your 3 bounty tokens. These are the tokens you're going to use to score the bounty cards. You'll just set them aside. I'll put them all the way down here at the bottom. And the last 2 parts of setup is you have a cup of tea. You'll set this aside here. You'll be able to use this during the play if you want. I'll explain that in just a moment. And then if you need it, you have a player aid card here that explains like the symbols and the different actions that you're going to take during the turn. There's some modified actions for the solo play, and I'll explain that during the rules explanation. All right, in Floriferous, you are trying to make the best flower arrangements and bouquets and score the most points by the end of the game. During the game, you are going to be encountering the crow, the meddling crow that's trying to take your flowers away and block you from scoring various points. And so then let's talk about scoring and how we score this game. There are a variety of ways you can score the game. First of all, one of the ways is to finish bouquets. And so these are cards that you'll find in the garden. They're in the garden deck here. I pulled one of them out to show you. But at the end of the game, you can score points based on how well you made this bouquet. And you'll see here at the bottom that this particular bouquet wants tulips, yellow, and ladybugs. And if you get all 3 of those, you'll gain 5 points. If you only get 2 of those, you'll gain 3 points. And if you only have 1 of those, you'll gain 1 point. Now for these bouquets, 1 card can count for multiple things. So let's say you had a yellow flower that was also a tulip. Well, then that would count for those 2 symbols. If it happened to have a ladybug on it as well, it would also count for that. But I don't think there is a card that has all 3 of those. Nevertheless, you can utilize 1 or 2 cards to finish a bouquet, and that's going to score you points. Now, other ways to score points is gaining some of these desire cards at the bottom. So some of the desire cards are pretty straightforward. These 2 here grant you points based on how many of those colors you have in your collection. So if I have 4 yellow flowers in my collection, then I would gain a total of 8 points, as in 2 per yellow flower or 2 per pink flower. But other ones let you gain points for having specific insects. So this one here lets you gain 3 points per moth. And you'll see that there's a moth shown here. Some of the cards will be points towards type of flower or same kind of flower or different kinds of flowers, like this one here. This one says that you'll gain points for having different kinds of flowers. So if you have only 1 kind of flower, you'll gain 0 points. But if you have 5 different kinds of flowers, you'll have 5 points at the end of the game. So that's a good one to get. And this one here is for different kinds of bugs. And so you'll see a variety of these different desire cards that'll gain you a variety of different points. Now, one thing I haven't talked about is the bounties. See, at the end of every day, you have the chance to score these bounties. The bounties require that you have these symbols here at the top, but they also require that you have that 1 card goes for each symbol, so 1 unique card. So in other words, this one here, which requires a poppy and a mum and a butterfly, those have to be 3 separate cards that count towards this. So at the end of the first day, if I'm able to achieve one of these bounties, I will take one of my bounty tokens and place it on the furthest left spot. It's kind of hard to see, but there actually shows a 1, 2, and 3 here for the first, second, and third day. So if I complete one of these at the end of the first day, then I'll gain 5 points. So I'll place my marker on that spot. And then at the end of the game, I will score that and gain those points. You can only ever score a bounty once, so keep that in mind. So you definitely want to try and score them early because they're worth a lot of points. And there's 2 other ways to score points. First is stones. You'll gain these stones when you gain these cards that have the stones on them. And then at the end of the game, you'll gain 1 point for every 2 stones you have. And then the last one is you gain 2 points if you have this T card at the end of the game. Now, normally in the multiplayer game, you have to earn this by having the most stones at the end of the game, but you actually start this within your possession. And what you can do with this card is you can discard it, get rid of it, to prevent the AI from drawing a card during their turn. And I'll explain AI turns in just a moment. And so that's how you score in this game. So let's talk about how the turn works. See, on your turn, you're going to be choosing one of the 3 cards here that is to the right of your pawn. And so I could choose the mum here and gain the mum and that stone if I wanted to, or I could choose the desire card and gain this one to my inventory, or the daisy one here. Once you've chosen a card, you're going to move your pawn into that spot and take that card. So let's say I took the daisy here and added it to my collection. Then what happens is you have to flip over the top card of the crow deck. And so what it tells you is what card it's going to remove. And so this one in particular says it's going to remove the bottom desire card here of the next column. So the column to the right of where I'm going right now. And so we remove this, and it says to put 2 stones in its place. Now, when this happens, the AI is going to collect these stones at the end of the day. So you have to be careful how many stones that it collects. Because if it ever has 4 stones at the end of the day, then it will take one of your cards away from your collection. You'll have to lose that card. So you have to keep that in mind. Now, on your turn, you can choose if there are stones ahead. So in this case here, there are stones in this place. I could choose to move my pawn into that space and return these to the supply. I don't gain these stones, but it prevents the crow from gaining them at the end of the day. So that's an option that you can choose. And so you're going to take your 5 turns, going all the way to the end here. On the 5th turn, you will not draw a crow's card because there's no column following. And so once your pawn gets to this end here, we will remove all the cards from the display except the bounty cards here. Then we will score the bounties if we can. And then the crow will get any stones remaining on the table here, adding it to their card. And if they have 4 or more, then they will steal one of our cards and get rid of all those stones. If they have 3 or less, nothing happens. They will keep those stones on their card. And then we'll go on to the next day where we redraw all the cards to the field here. And this time we'll start from the right side and work our way across all the way to the left side again. And then we'll go through the end of day, scoring bounties, having the crow take a card maybe. And then we'll move on to our 3rd and final day where we will work our way across again. And once we get to the end here on the 3rd day, then we will score all of our flowers, our bouquets and everything, and see how well we did. There's a scoring rank in the rule book, and I'll show you that at the end of the game. All right, so with that in mind, we're going to try and work our way towards gaining one of these bounties by the end of the day. Gaining bounties is really good, and so I have to look at these here. Now, there's only 1 tulip showing here, and so I don't know if I can get this one. There might be a tulip under one of these 2. We have to blindly take those if that's the case. There's also, let's see, we have mum. So there's a mum here, a poppy here, but there's no butterfly. So again, we'd have to rely on these ones blindly. And then the last one here has a daisy, a mum, and a bee. And again, there's no bee. So I think we have to try and go for these cards that are face down, as well as other goals here. Now, we may want to look at the bottom here, probably taking this card at the end, because that card is easy to gain a lot of points if you have 5 different kinds of flowers. So that might be worth it. So I think our goal here then is to gain this mum, gain this poppy, or maybe I should go daisy, poppy. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to choose. I don't think I can go for both of these. So I think it's going to depend on which this is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the mum. Both of these need the mum. So we'll gain the mum here, adding it to my collection here, and then I'm going to place my stone down here at the bottom. Now it is the crow's turn. We're going to flip over the crow's card here, and it says it's going to take the middle card and replace it with 2 stones. All right, so we discard this card here, adding 2 stones to this space. Now it's my turn, and I can choose to go here and get rid of those stones, but I kind of want to get this card here. So we're going to move here, take this card, And let's see, we got a poppy. Well, we needed a poppy, so that's good. I usually stack the same colors in the same section here, and if you stack them like this, you'll have all the relevant information on the bottom, including insects if they had them. And then we go on to the crow's turn here. Flipping this over, let's see. It's going to take the bottom card here and replace it, you'll see, with a face down card. And so that could be good, you know, if I want to, I could try and go for that card just to see what it is. But I don't know that that's the right course of action. But it couldn't hurt anything, right? Like, if I get this one, yes, I get a stone. That's nice. I don't know that I need another poppy right now. So maybe I should go for this and see what I get. So we're going to move my pawn here and we'll see. And we get 3 points per beetle. All right. So that may be good, but it can also be a card that I can let the crow take if they take too many stones. So that's always an option. All right, so we're moving on to the next turn here, and it's the AI's turn, the crow's turn. And once again, it's going to take one of the desire cards here, adding a stone in its place. This time it's a single stone, so not two. And so we'll discard this here. And so with my turn, I do want to get this card. So we're going to move the pawn here. Let's see what we get. Oh, we get a bouquet card. This is actually really good. And so this one requires a poppy, which I already have one poppy, a moth, and an orange card. So we're going to have to keep that in mind later on. We'll set that right here, and hopefully I can work towards that at the end. Now, of course, this means I'm not scoring any bounties this round. There's just nothing available for me to get, and that's okay. I rarely ever score any of the bounties in the first round. So we'll try and go for scoring on the second round. But with that in mind, we do have to draw the crow's card. And this crow is going to take the tulip. That is unfortunate because I really wanted the tulip. The tulip had a beetle on it. And so that's not good. But it's not putting any stones here, so that's okay. And so we get to replace it with a face down card as shown on here. And with that in mind, should I go for that or should I go for this one? That's a tough choice. Now, this one could be an easy 5 points. And I think I'll go for this. I'm going to go for the guarantee. All right. So we take this card and we'll add it over here. I'll just have it off screen here. All right. So with that in mind, we've made it to the end of the day. We don't have to draw a crow's card here because there's no column for the crow to take from. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard all the cards that we didn't pick up. And then any of the stones left on the field, this stone that was on this card gets put back in the supply. But any of the other stones that get left on the field, so there's 3 of them here, are added to the crow. Now we check for bounties, and of course we know that we didn't quite reach a bounty. We almost got this one. We need a butterfly. So hopefully we'll get that next turn, but nope, didn't score any. Now we check the crow here to see if it has 4 stones. It doesn't. Now, one thing you can do before you check the crows, you can actually discard your own stones to discard that many stones from the crow. So I could have done that if I wanted to, but there was no need to. And so we're ready to set up for the next day. And so we're going to draw the cards here. First, we do a face up one again, face down, face up, face down, and face up. Just like you did in setup, except that we're starting from right to left here. I'm not sure if that matters, but that's just how I do it. And so we get the rest of the cards here. And there's actually a couple of bouquets, and that's really good. Bouquets can often be worth a lot of points. Now you'll see here, there are no butterflies. So once again, I'm out of luck on butterflies, but there is a bee. I could work towards that bee and try and get that one, but we'll see. And of course, we have to draw 5 of the desire cards here and add them to the display, like so. And of course, we need to add 3 stones here on the first, third, and 5th cards of the middle row. All right, and so we're ready to start the new round. And once again, we're working right to left during the second day here. Now, I do want this bouquet. I kind of want both of these, you know, I really do. They're going to be hard to complete, but they're worth a lot of points. So I definitely want to try and go for them. And oh man, I'm really tempted on this one too, because this is 2 points per purple. Whereas I want this one that has the B. That is really a tough choice. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go for this one here. I think that's the best move. We're gonna need the bee, so we'll have to go for the bee and just forego this one here. But we'll add this bouquet, we'll slide it right under this other one here, and we get a stone on top of that. Now we flip over the crows card here, and it's gonna get rid of the top card and replace it with 2 stones. Ah, that's unfortunate. I wanted to see what was under this, but that's okay. We'll go with it. And we'll add 2 stones here. And now it's my turn, so I can go for these 2 here. I don't have any butterflies yet, so it's just not worth it. Now I could try and get rid of these stones, but I think it's better to go for this. Wow, 3 bouquets. I normally don't have more than 2, so that's really nice. And we move on to the crow's turn here, and it's going to get rid of this middle card here. The stone on this card goes into the supply, but it's adding a stone to this spot right here. All right, so now it's my turn. I definitely want this lily with the bee on it. It's going to be helpful later. And so we add it to my collection, and we're moving on to the crow's turn. It's going to get rid of the top card and replace it with a stone. It's getting a lot of stones this time. Oh, you didn't see this, but look, there's a butterfly on that top card. Oh, that would have been nice to have. All right, so moving on to the next card here. Now, I might as well get this desire card because it's worth 2 points. Because I already have 1 mum, and it's 2 points for every mum. So I'm going to add that to my cards here. And of course, moving my pawn into that position. And then we are drawing a new card here, and it's going to get rid of the top card. And that's okay. I didn't necessarily need the lily. Actually, I needed the pink lily more than this one. So that's fine. It's going to replace it with a face down card. Now that is tempting to get, but knowing that I need a pink lily, again, the reason why I need this is the pink card for this bouquet, and then the lily, I guess I don't need the lily itself, huh? All right, so I'm gonna get this one. I don't need another lily, but I do need the pink card. So that's important. We'll take that, we'll gain the stone here, and then we're at the end of the day. We're not drawing another crow card. And so we're gonna discard all these cards once again. A lot of cards going away. This one ended up being a purple lily, so I didn't really need that, so that's fine. But now all these stones are getting added to this crow. But before we do that, let's see if we've accomplished any of these goals here. And it looks like I haven't accomplished any of these yet, so this is not good. I'm going to score really low if I don't accomplish some of these soon. Because I definitely need a daisy, I need a butterfly, I need some tulips. Yeah, it's just not working for me. Nevertheless, we're going to reset the board and move on to the next round. Now, I did forget to check the crow. The crow had more than enough stones to get rid of one of my cards, so you get rid of all the stones on the crow. And then I have to get rid of one of my cards here. But I think I'm going to get rid of this poppy. I know it seems counterintuitive, but I'm going to get rid of this poppy here, and we'll put it back in the discard pile. Because the reason why is I'm going to take this card, and I want the 3 points from beetles here that I'm going to get from this. This card's also going to be useful for this bouquet. And yeah, there's a lot of good things going on with this card here. So I'm going to take this one, adding it to my collection. I get a stone on top of that. But then we go on to the crow's turn, and we'll see it's going to get rid of the bottom card, the desire card, adding 2 stones. All right, so now it's my turn, and I need this daisy. I absolutely need this daisy. See, the daisy is the white color, which matches this one here. This one also requires a daisy, and I already have the bee for it. So this is going to net me 5 points just getting this daisy. On top of that, it's one of the types of flowers I don't currently have. So now I have 3 types of flowers, which is going to help this one score an additional point. So that was definitely worth it. Now it's the crow's turn, but there are no cards, so we have to shuffle these, and we're going to redraw. And so their card is... get rid of the middle card, the lily with the beetle. That's unfortunate. And it's going to replace it with a face down card. All right, that's okay though, because I wanted to go for this poppy here. This poppy has a butterfly on it. This is going to be really helpful to me because I need that for this particular bounty. But I also need another poppy, so I'm going to have to go for that one. All right, now it's the crow's turn. Let's see. It's going to get rid of the bottom desire card here and replace it with a face down one. All right. Now, I think the best thing for me to just go for this bouquet. This bouquet has a lily, a purple card, and a butterfly. So I think that's definitely worth it. And I'll add this because I have all of that now. I have the butterfly and a lily in a purple lily right here. So these 2 cards will count towards that bouquet. So that was definitely worth it. All right, it's the final crow's turn. Now, I have not spent my T card. I could spend it right now to make sure that nothing happens to these cards so I could gain this poppy card. And that might be worth it just to, be able to complete this bounty. But this bounty is worth 2 points at this point because it's the third day. And so if I spend a 2-point card, which this T card is worth that, to gain 2 points, it's not worth it. So I'm just going to play the odds here, draw this card, and see what happens. And it doesn't get rid of it. So it gets rid of this bottom card here, adding a stone. Now that's really good because here's the thing. It's only going to gain 3 stones at the end here, which means that it's not going to be able to steal one of my cards. So that's really good. We will go ahead and take this poppy card and we'll add it to my collection here. Now you may be wondering, wait, you already got a poppy pink poppy card here. And that is true. But again, with the bounties, you have to have individual cards. So I have to have 1 poppy and 1 butterfly that are on separate cards. So we'll have the butterfly here, the poppy here, and then we have the mum right there. So we're good on that. All right, we've reached the end of the third day here. I'm going to go ahead and discard all this stuff, get this out of the way, because we are now going to look at our points, see how we did faced up against that crow. Now this crow doesn't score any points, so that's okay. Now we do want to check to see which bounties I've completed at the end of this third day. And so I believe I have this one here. We have a bee and a mum, all right? And then a daisy up here. Perfect. So I gained 2 points there. Next one, a butterfly, a poppy, and once again, we have a mum. All right, perfect. And then this last one here, I didn't get any tulips. That's unfortunate. I could have used some tulips, but it just didn't happen. All right, so let's look at our bouquets here and let's see which ones I've scored. Now, I have 4 different bouquets and we're going to score these separately. You can use the cards for multiple bouquets. Now, I have a lily here that's a purple with a butterfly. So we have those here between these 2 cards. So this one's going to be 5 points. This one here requires a mum and a beetle, which I have those there, and a pink card. So that's 5 points as well. This last one here is a daisy, white with a bee, got that as well. And this final one here is a poppy and orange, which I have there, but I didn't get any moths, so this is only worth 3 points. So with these 3 here, that is 15 plus the 3, that's 18, plus the 4 up here, so we're at 22, plus this 2 here, 26, plus 1 point for each stone here, or each 2 stones that is. So that makes it 28 points because this was 2 points here. And so now we add the 28 points to these here. This is where it's going to see if I've scored well enough. So we add 3 points because I have 1 beetle here. So that's going to make it 31 points. And then I have 2 mums here. So that's another 4 points. So that puts me at 35. And then this last one here, I think I have 4 different kinds of flowers. We have 1, 2, 3, and then the daisy. Yes, 4 different kinds of flowers gains me 3 more points, and that puts me at 38 if I've counted correctly. All right, and so we checked the final scoring here, and it says for a standard game, 33 to 38. Oh man, I just hit the top of that range, and it's really relaxed. My mood is really relaxed. Now, if it was the extended game, I could have gone for even higher. Look at those points that you can get in an extended game. But yeah, standard game, not too bad. It's the middle rank. I think my highest is like 41 points. But yeah, pretty good game there. And so there you have it. That was the tutorial and solo playthrough of Floriferous, dedicated to my friend Felicity. Felicity, I hope you enjoy this game when I send it to you and you receive it. You can message me anytime with any rules questions, anything at all. Let me know. I hope this brings a smile to your face. And I hope you know that so many people out there care about you and wish the best for you in your life. And to the rest of you, would you please leave a note in the comments below, a note of encouragement to Felicity. And I thank you very much for your support of her and her life and her health and well-being. And so thank you for joining me on Tabletop for One. Have a great night.